Alright, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Number honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. To us like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. I'm gonna let this play. Just gonna let this play. And hear what the dumbass devil says. Because this guy, he does represent America. America's decaying. As dementia is dying. Let this clown says.
So rapidly, man. We got to keep up. We're in competition to determine whether or not we can still remain the most powerful economic force in the world. And today I'm here to talk about one of the most pressing economic concerns of the American people. And it's real. And that is getting prices down, number one. Number two, making sure our stores are fully stocked. And number three, getting a lot of people back to work while tracking and tackling these two above challenges I mentioned. Today's economic report showing unemployment continued to fall, but consumer prices remain too high. Tell us, the American people, in the midst of this economic crisis, the recovery is showing strong results, but not to them. They're still looking out there. Everything from a gallon of gas to a loaf of bread costs more, and it's worrisome, even though wages are going up. We still face challenges, and we have to tackle them. We have to tackle them head on. And on the good side, we're seeing the highest growth rate in decades, the fastest decrease in unemployment at this.
And I gotta say this. This is the same talking points that Trump, when he was in office as well, according to all statistics, that the most highest rate of employment was under Trump, supposedly. All right. So you're gonna always hear each politician big themselves up, or big up their administration as is the greatest administration of all times, and under their rule, all these great things happen. Well, article brother sent on the chat, 4.4 million people, all right, employees quit their jobs because of the mandates. So I don't know what crack pipe that this man's smoking, but that's neither here and there. Let's let this clown say, because it's certain the reason I'm doing this lesson hasn't come up yet, but this shows you that, this man speaks in, not just him, but Esau in general, speaking fourth tongue. All right, and this is all craft. This is all a manipulation of just using words. When you say certain things for so long, it may seem that is right, but it's not right. All right? That's witchcraft.
Point ever since 1950. Jobs are up, wages are up, values are up, and savings are up. But we got problems.
He said jobs are up, wages are up, savings are up. How can savings be up when the world was on lockdown last year and everybody had to use up their savings just to get by?
Too. Many people remain unsettled about the economy, and we all know why. They see higher prices. They go to the store online, or they go to the store or go online, and they can't find what they always want and when they want it. And we're tracking these issues and trying to figure out how to tackle them head on. My administration, with the help of the folks on my left over here, has a plan to finish the job of getting us back to normal from the pandemic and having a stronger economy than we ever had before. Let me explain the part that the ports play said, why they're so critically important. It starts with a piece of good news. Infrastructure Week has finally arrived. How many times you hear over the last 5 years, Infrastructure Week is coming? Anyway, but last week we took a monumental step forward as a nation. And we did something long overdue and long talked about in Washington, but almost never actually done. The House of Representatives passed my bipartisan infrastructure bill. Along with other plans that I'm advancing, this bill is going to reduce the cost of goods to consumers, businesses, and get people back to work, helping us build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, where everybody's better off. I'm tired of this trickle-down economy stuff. I come from Delaware, just across the line up here, and we have more corporations in Delaware than every other nation in the state combined. And so I understand big business. The fact of the matter is, it's time they start paying their fair share. The fact is,
like I said, there's a lot of talking points, but let me see if I get that to the point I want to get to. Because I was trying to look, I had it, but I guess World Star took it down was the shit that he had said.
up in the middle out.
Let me see if I can find it.
Stuff. I come from Delaware, just across the line up here. Structure turned the climate crisis into an opportunity. That's in research and development. China is outspending others with our airports and freight rail. So, folks, we're going to build the first ever national network of batteries to store energy and power. They to me about 10 days ago saying this is, with our help, they now have the funds they need to set up 5 new inland port sites in Germany, paying off. Last week, the number of to improve ports in the East Coast, to provide support for the Port of Savannah, the 4th largest container product takes to get to your doorstep. Higher demand for goods because wages, you're getting 3 major pieces of legislation I passed. You all got checks for $1,400. You got.
All right, so here it is. Slovakia. It took this long, but you know.
Have to use the wood from Brazil, graphite from India, before it comes together at a factory in the United States to get a pencil. Sounds silly, but that's literally how it is. So if all of a sudden you got COVID crisis in Brazil, you can't get the product made because the plant shuts down. That's what's happening. Products like smartphones often bring together parts from France, Italy, chips from the Netherlands, touch screens from New York State, camera components from Japan, a supply chain that crosses dozens of countries. That's just the nature of the modern economy, the world economy. The global supply chains have helped dramatically bring down price we pay for things we buy. But they also made us much more reliant on what happens in other parts of the world. So if a factory in Malaysia shuts down due to a COVID outbreak, why? They can't get the computer chips they need. It's a climate disaster, close the port and provide supply and driving up. And if it's over 7 to 17, you're getting $360 a month, like wealthy people used to do when they get back tax returns. It changes people's lives. But what happens if there's nothing to buy, you got more money, you compete for getting it there, it creates a real problem. So on the one hand, we're facing new disruptions to our supplies. At the same time, we're also experiencing higher demand for goods because wages are up, as well as people have money in the bank. And because of the strength of our economic recovery, American families have been able to buy more.
You hear what this clown said? There's more money in the bank. All right. I don't know why I keep doing this, but I'm gonna find a point where
And you have kids under the age of 7, you're getting $300 a month. And if it's over components from Japan, a supply chain that crosses. They also made us much more reliant on what happens in other parts of the world. So if a factory in Malaysia shuts down due to a COVID outbreak, which they have, it causes a ripple effect to clothing, reduce worldwide supply, and driving up prices here in America. And the irony is people have more money now because of the first maybe.
People have more money now. So every American right now is, according to this clown, is rich. It's filthy rich. And this is how much money people got.
Your piece of legislation I passed. You all got checks for $1,400. You got checks for a whole range.
$1,400. Now everybody's rich because of $1,400. The majority of people that receive a check, either $1,400 or $2,000, however, had to spend that money on bills, on apartments, on any sort of bills that you could think of. That money is gone. But according to this delusional crackpipe over here, that every single person is rich.
Of things. If you're a mom and you have kids under the age of 7, you're getting $300 a month. And if it's over,
so $300 now a month extra, according to him, is making these people rich. See, this is why we keep going.
Over 7 to 17, you're getting $360 a month, like wealthy people used to do when they get back tax returns. It changed people's lives. But what happens if there's nothing to buy, you got more money, you compete for getting it there, it creates a real problem. So no one.
Now the devil's blaming everyone else for the inflation or the lack of material, the lack of things coming in. So this is how the devil works, man. This is how the goddamn devil works. This is where I really wanted to get into. And we'll just go to the point. A couple things. Proverbs 22:16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. And that's what they're doing. They're oppressing the poor to get their riches. But here's another one. Proverbs 28:8. He that by usury and unjust gain increases his substance, he should surely gather it for him that will pity the poor. So these unjust gains and usuries is being seen right before our eyes. The majority of people owe some sort of debt. All right? It doesn't matter if it's college. It doesn't matter if it's a car note. It doesn't matter if it's a house. Every single person is on debt. All right? $1,400 is not going to save anybody. And just because you pump, and then here's the news, which I'm not going to go dig it up. When you watch regular news, are basically saying that all the money that it was given was that was another cause of the hyperinflation. The inflation. We're not in the hyperinflation yet. So that's the trickery of the devil, man. That's how the devil gets down. He puts the blame on everybody else except for him for doing these things. James 2:6. But ye have despised the poor, and do not the rich man oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? So those people that despise the poor, you are subjugated to the same people. And these people don't give a two damns about you. All right? They don't see you as equal. They see you as, we gave you something, even though we know that it was not going to do nothing for you. And they're going to put the blame on you. Sirach 13, I believe it's maybe 16. I'm not too sure. Well, yeah, actually it is. It says, all flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship have a wolf with a lamb, so the sinner with the godly? What agreement between the hyena and the dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor? There is no peace between the rich and the poor. The rich is not going to give any poor man an advantage to be stable, because that takes away from his finances. All right? They don't care about the very poor of the people. All right? It says, as the wild asses of the lions prey in the wilderness, so the rich eateth up the poor. So this whole facade of giving money that was supposed to be for free to help people financially get out of debt or just to get by, now they're saying, oh, because we gave you this, you guys are rich. So now this is reason why I think the prices are going up, because it's your guys' fault. Yeah, that's what makes it. That's why we say what we say about them. As the pride hateth humility, so doeth the rich abhor the poor. So it says a rich man begin to fall is held up his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends, which that goes into something else. But you get the point. This devil has people in this binding spell believing the nonsense that he's spewing. So now they're going to say, we give you all these guys welfare, we give you all these programs, we give you all this stuff, and they'll say the things that they're doing, they justify for doing it because they give you all this help. But the people not knowing, all the help that they gave was not truly help. That was the more to keep the people in a low position. Because according to, matter of fact, I am going to end on this, because This is part of the judgment seat as well. Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor. So there's no middle class anywhere in the scriptures. There's no middle, either you're rich or you're poor. So they have completely wiped out the independent circuit where people could maintain a good amount of money and live off of the poverty line. Now there's just the very rich and the very poor. The serfs and the servant. I mean the rulers and the serfs, which is serfs means servant. All right. It says free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand and their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So he's gonna cause, meaning he's gonna force this. All right, and how he's gonna force it? By removing the very substance that people have. All right, and we clear. It's like the guy Klaus Schorf, whatever his name is, said, you're gonna have nothing. Yeah, you're gonna have no property. You're gonna have nothing, and you're gonna love it. This is the mindset of the damn oppressor, man. So, hey, he's gonna force everyone to take that thing, because that's how you're gonna get out of debt. He's gonna use all the excuses in the world to keep your medical record and so forth, so that way he can oppress you forever, so he can control you forever. All right, and whatever he gives, he's gonna want back an entrance. Just clearly see, as we see. So with that being said, something real quick to the spirit. Shalom to the elect and the nation of Israel. This devil is on the move. Shalom.